Definitely, the Hispanic population is growing fast, and the Hispanics that are coming here are in the young age of having kids. So it's going to keep growing, and extension have to be there, and that's why I am working with, in extension, reaching out those audiences. And so with this virtual program, we're going to explore ways to keep our own culture and traditions alive as we begin maybe a new chapter in a new country, or you are in a country and you feel the need of strengthen those roots from your native country. And so we're going to talk about ways that are easy for our families here in the United States to do so our kids, our children see us celebrating who we are, and also passing that knowledge and that experience to them when they are in our age. They're going to continue that. Because I want the tradition to continue, and I want those parents that are far from their country to have something to practice and enjoy like they were in their own countries, but also to pass it to their children and share this with the community so they know more about us.
A virtual learning series by K-State Research and Extension Family and Consumer Sciences agents across the state is launching its new fall series with 3 programs being presented exclusively in Spanish. The Living Well Wednesday webinar series, developed in response to a need to reach people during the pandemic, focuses on topics that improve health and wellness in several areas, including physical, mental, financial, and relationship health. On today's Sound Living, expanding Extension's reach to a growing audience. Sound Living is a weekly public affairs program produced by Research and Extension at Kansas State University. I'm Jeff Wichman. Extension Family Life and Resource Management Agent for Sedgwick County, Elizabeth Liz Brunscheen Cartagena, is presenting 2 of the 3 upcoming Spanish webinars, Connecting Cultures on September 28th and Survive, Fight, and Thrive on October 26th. Liz, the Living Well Wednesday series is going to continue in September and October, and one thing that is unusual about this, or maybe even revolutionary about this, is the fact that this is going to be an all-Spanish series.
Yes, and it's very exciting because we are going to do an outreach and the series that have not done before. Looking at the topics that they have presented, being a Hispanic from Puerto Rico, I said we want this for the Hispanic people too. They have the same needs.
This is a series that really focuses on well-being, and that covers a number of areas, doesn't it?
Yeah, when they choose that title, Living Well, they were thinking about the health and wellness very broadly, including the physical health, mental health, financial health, relationship health, that all of these things relate to how to live well.
This was a series that I think actually started during the pandemic, and it's something that has value and is being continued.
Definitely. COVID has taught us many good things, and Extension is taking advantage of that, and is doing the virtual learning, and we reach new audiences beside the audiences that we had traditionally outreached. And also this series promote the breadth and the depth of the family consumer sciences work that sometimes people don't know, and also connect the Kansas and anybody in the world with what we do as an Extension office.
If you could walk me through the decision in regard to offering the Spanish series, what was the thought pattern there?
Well, we start thinking what is something that is timely, beneficial, and since September is the month of the heritage of the Hispanic culture, we said, you know what, I think it would be a good idea of starting talking about the cultures, or how we connect in a culture that is not our own, and embracing the new culture, but also making sure our main culture still alive. That's one of the things that we start thinking about that.
You're going to be leading this discussion, so what are some of the things that you're going to cover?
Well, with this virtual program, we're going to explore ways to keep our own culture and traditions alive as we begin maybe a new chapter in a new country, or you are in a country and you feel the need of strengthen those roots from your native country. And so we're going to talk about ways that are easy for our families here in the United States to do so our kids, our children see us celebrating who we are and also passing that knowledge and that experience to them. When they are in our age, they're going to continue that.
You mentioned that you were from Puerto Rico. Was this something that you went through, something that you had to assimilate to?
Definitely. If we're not intentionally practicing our culture, it will fade away. Because there's many things in the culture in the United States that are very attractive, and it is kind of easy to get involved in it, and then our traditions and things will be kind of back in the, not being practiced. So, like, for example, in my home, I cook Puerto Rican food. We listen Spanish music all the time, beside the English one. When we have, holidays in Puerto Rico, I celebrate it here. I am very big on the Three Kings Day, and I even bring it to the extension, and we celebrate it as a community event because I want the tradition to continue, and I want those parents that are far from their country to have something to practice and enjoy like they were in their own countries, but also to pass it to their children and share this with the community so they know more about us.
I don't know what the numbers are, but I do know that there is an increase in Hispanic and Spanish populations within Kansas. Is that another reason why it's a good idea for Extension to be moving in this direction?
Definitely. The Hispanic community population is growing fast, and I don't think it will stop for years. We are a population that we tend to have many kids. I guess the more you're here, the kids are like, I don't want to have 5 kids. I'm going to have maybe 2, But our families are big, and the Hispanics that are coming here are in the young age of having kids. So it's going to keep growing, and Extension have to be there, and that's why I am working with, in Extension, reaching out those audiences because of my skills of being bilingual. I can bring so many stuff, many knowledge and resources for the Hispanic community. So I am glad when they came with this idea. It's like, yes, we need to do it, and I am there for this to happen.
In addition to Connecting Cultures on September 28th, they're also going to do Chronic Diseases Prevention and Management on October 12th. What can they expect to learn from that session?
Yeah, they're going to talk about the prevention and the management of chronic disease. What are the leading causes of those chronic diseases in our population, and learn strategies and efforts to reduce and prevent those situations. And I know diabetes is big in Hispanic, and heart disease and stuff like that. And bringing the education, not just for the adults, for the young kids, the young generation, to take care of that and prevent so they don't end up maybe like the grandparents. And one of the big things is how we eat. We like to eat, a lot of things are fried or they are not as healthy. And we had to say, yeah, it tastes good when you put lard or things like that. But in the long run, it's going to affect you. So we have to use moderation or use other ways to have the same enjoyment in food, I guess.
On October 26th, Survive, Fight, and Thrive, and I guess that kind of looks at parents helping them to gain some confidence in their ability to parent?
Yes. This is something that I'm going to lead also. We have a curriculum from K-State, and I have taught it in the community, and it's well received because they, parents says, it's hard to deal with situations that are, exhausting with our kids, and we want to guide them in the correct behavior. And sometimes we bring knowledge that are good from our parents and others who are not that healthy, and bringing something that is research-based, it was going to help them to think about the first thing that we do is prevention because we're teachers, and then we do the guidance when that happens, and if that continues, the consequences are going to be at the end. And so we're going to work them through ideas of how we can do this in a successful way. So we are raising our children in a fair way and healthy way. And at the end of the day, we feel good of what decisions we made relating with the discipline to our children.
I think we all know that information is really only as good as you can understand that information, and that to me seems to be the real value of doing this 3-part series in Spanish, is the fact that we can actually get some of this extension material to them in a way that they can understand it.
Exactly. And there are things, I know people say, well, everybody here should know English. The thing is, like, we're having people coming here, they just came, they don't know the language. Others I have many parents in the community learning English, but the English that they know, it is the survival one, enough to make some ideas to be understood a little bit. And when we come with things like this is a very deep topic. And so any of the topics, it is good to have it in their own language so they can express themselves and they have questions. And it is so important to really, when I teach and I say a slang, that I know that I'm going to get the idea, because you cannot translate word by word, from one language to the other. Is the idea what you translate. And it's just like an expression that I have, and they just laugh. They understand. There's not too much explanation. They understand what I'm saying. So it is important, very beneficial to bring in the language, because there are many levels of students learning. The parents are learning. And some of them that have been here for a long time, and others are not. So I'm glad to bring any materials from Extension to my community in my own language, and that will be applying with any language, I will say.
And I think Extension is also working on some Spanish publications as well.
Exactly. I have translated a lot of publications, and we have other universities. They have also materials, and we borrow from them, or they borrow from us, because we have to work together as a Extension net. We have to help each other because there are more people coming, and sometimes there's some counties that suddenly they're having Hispanic, and they have to be prepared and to share that in their own language.
What would be the best way for people to find out more information about this and get signed up or registered for the upcoming webinars?
I would like to give them my phone number. They can call me, and if they have any questions, I can answer. And when they call, we can share the information about the email, so they can go in. So my phone number is 316-660-0114. So again, my name is Elizabeth. My last name is Cartagena. 316-660-0114.
And I know you would really like people to participate and really get this extra knowledge.
Yes, and take advantage of things that we do, because right now this one is free of cost, and it is a very good content that we're going to bring that maybe in other places you have to pay for this information, and this one is free. So I would like to, whoever is listening, please share this information with people that you know that speak Spanish. My phone number again, 316-660-0114. Please pass that information, and they can call me, and we can find a link to join us.
That's K-State Research and Extension Family Life and Resource Management Agent for Sedgwick County, Elizabeth Liz Brunscheen Cartagena, with information on the upcoming Living Well Wednesday webinar series being presented exclusively in Spanish on September 28th, October 12th, and October 26th. In addition to contacting Liz directly, more information can be found on the K-State Research and Extension Family and Consumer Sciences webpage at ksre.ksu.edu/FCS. And to learn more about the health and wellness programs being offered in your community, contact the local county or district extension office. Sound Living is a weekly public affairs program produced by Research and Extension at Kansas State University. I'm Jeff Wichman, and this is the K-State Radio Network.